나는 solo.
Hi Gen Angels, welcome back to my channel. After a really long time I'm finally back with another episode in my The Dark Side of Blackpink series, where we take a look into some issues regarding Blackpink as a group, as well as the management they are under. Since I know most of you are new, and probably didn't watch the first episode, I'll have it pop up in the card right now, and I'll also link it at the top of my description, so check it out. This time we will be talking about a controversial topic that many pop fans don't want to even hear about. And that's MEDIAPLAY. Also, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe, like and comment, because it helps me out a lot. Thank you.
Let's get it!
I think most of us, if not all, can agree that Blackpink were very clearly created by YG to be the group for the Western, and not necessarily as much for the Korean market, which could be one of the reasons for their very rare comebacks. In Western music industry it's not common at all to put out more than one album a year. Most artists actually come back with new work every second, third year or sometimes even later. Meanwhile in pop we are used to constant stuff happening, especially if you are a multi-stan, like myself. We get at least 2, if not even 3 comebacks from one group a year, along with extra content, like variety shows, vlogs and short videos, for example Bangtan Bombs by BTS. We are filled with something to consume all the time and therefore used to it. As soon as it's anything less than that, we feel bored and annoyed. But that's the thing. YG doesn't care about that, since in Western world such amount of content isn't required whatsoever. If we go back to Blackpink's debut, since basically the very start they were played by YG himself as the female version of BTS in many interviews and articles in Korean news outlets. He also debuted them in America, as soon as their fame became high enough. If we are specific, after D4 era. YG Entertainment also released several, as I mentioned before, statements, comparing their female group Blackpink to the most popular boy group in the world, BTS, implying that Blackpink is more successful. Here is a quote from one of their statements. Blackpink have the most potential, even more than BTS. You don't have to be an ARMY or a Blink to realize that this is extremely disrespectful to both groups. BTS has been around as a group for almost 7 years, compared to Blackpink only being around for almost 4 years. When they debuted in 2013 they were mocked, bullied, rejected and even ignored by Korean music shows, media and people, even after their popularity began to rise. Media refused to talk about their achievements up until 2017 or even 2018. I've been with them since late 2016 and saw it all happening. It was hard for them, and they really had to go through a lot in terms of being accepted into the industry. Blackpink members on the other hand all come from very wealthy families, especially Jennie, and already had an insane amount of hype and anticipation before they even debuted. Most of it was due to Big 3 privilege, since they are under one of the, at the time, biggest pop entertainment companies, while BIT was barely even existing in the eyes of general public. All of this wouldn't be a problem at all, because all idols work hard and train for years to get to debut one day. But YG plays them as underdogs and tries to push a sad, full of struggles and obstacles story on the group, in order to hopefully achieve the same type of attachment and sympathy people have for BTS members, when the story doesn't even exist. Blackpink simply didn't have such path to fame they have now, and that's more than okay. Idols don't have to struggle through depths of hell to be worth or deserving of their success. Next to being played as female version of BTS, they were also media played as the next to NE1 and SNSD, just to add it in the whole mess. When it was announced that Blackpink's first ever world tour, called jenniuary, was completely sold out, fans quickly did some digging and found out that wasn't true at all and was just another way for YG to create the hype that wasn't necessarily there in the capacity he hoped for. There were still many tickets available for purchase. At the end of last year they had a fan meeting event held in Japan with around 2,700 available seats, yet still didn't manage to sell out. A YG employee later came out to reveal that tickets were given out to people for free to make the place not look empty, but if you look at the pictures, there are very visible spots with many empty seats. There are a lot of other fishy stuff regarding their MEDIAPLAY history. I will mention shortly only a few of them, or we would be sitting here for 10 more hours. The most common one, that I've already mentioned, and the company has been using with all of their artists, is by using other acts' names, like they did with Blackpink and BTS. They also often play the card of their male idols not being flowers boys, but instead being talented, ignoring success of all other groups. IG also creates overhype by promising things that simply aren't true in any way later down the line. They also continuously use defamation of BTS to raise their own success and hype, which we already discussed, and I think is the reason for BTS members no longer talking about Blackpink or enjoying their songs publicly. Another and last one I will mention is that his artists write and produce their own music, which as we discussed in the first episode, isn't true at all for his female groups. The members themselves are also heavily controlled and MEDIAPLAYed, but we will talk a lot more about that in future episodes, so subscribe to not miss it. MEDIAPLAY is a normal part of pop industry, and every group is MEDIAPLAYed to a certain extent, but I've never seen anything as extreme as with Blackpink, and it's becoming more and more annoying as time goes on. They are all forced to be badass and rebellious, their slogan being Blackpink is the revolution. But if you look at how it all actually is, they are completely dependent on their company, have zero creative freedom, and are told what to do every step along the way. Even just from that you can clearly see their whole image is made up and far from reality. It's kind of a topic. For the very end, I would also like to talk about something that I don't think many understand, or they simply refuse to understand it. You simply can't cry over the lack of comebacks and mistreatment when you buy every single damn photobook IG puts out. I know you think you are supporting Blackpink and keeping them alive in the industry, but that's very clearly not true at all. You are feeling their terrible company, the company that gave them nothing but hardships since basically debut. Until we realize that, and we all collectively stop consuming their content, nothing will change. In IG's eyes it doesn't have to. Money is literally being thrown at him for doing the bare minimum. Why would he try and give them more music when all of you are showing him that he doesn't have to? I personally do not own any of their merch or albums and never will. I'm sorry if this is hard to hear, but it's the truth. That's how this industry works. It's all about money. It's a bussiness. Deal with it, or make a change. Did any of you realize that every time we ask for a comeback or just any form of music from Blackpink, IG goes silent for a bit and then throws at us something random that we didn't even ask for? For example, we have been asking for a comeback even more intensely after 1 year anniversary of Kill This Love. It was all over social media. What did IG do? Throw at us over a year-old Coachella performance clips. Yet if you look at the views on them, they are absolutely mental. Then they would throw at us photoshoots, which is a regular occurrence. Also about a million different photo books, from Lisa's Photography 1, to New Year 1 and Summer 1, and I don't even know anymore. We finally got the news of their comeback happening in the first half of June, so next month, but to be completely honest with all of you, I don't trust IG, nor do I trust they will actually do it. Their history is filled with empty promises and hype since the very start, and I'm so used to it after 3 years that I don't believe it until I get the very first teaser in my subscription box. Period. Let's all just wait and pray for their first solo album. Also hopefully Rose's solo, for God's sake. I keep waiting for it and never getting it. It's getting me more and more annoyed. But don't worry, I won't unstand them and then complain in a video about reason why I did so, although nobody asked. Yes, that's a shade at those that make these videos. That's all I have for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back very soon with the third episode in the series, I promise. Subscribe to not miss it, and I will see you again on Friday in my Gen News video. I love you, bye bye.
Let's kill!